Mankind never had it easy. Something always going sour in some way, shape, or form. And this war was no different. Captain Frederick Werner knew this. Of course it was little consolation as his bloodied and battered body was strapped to the metal slab in the Messeriai interrogation chamber. This had always been a suicide mission, a small transponder connected to his ocular and auditory receptors of his brain, allowing the intel nerds on the far side of the galaxy get a view of the Messeri's tactics and treatment of prisoners. The mission hadn't been a complete failure, at least. His implant showed the whole of humanity that there were no prisoners, just bodies dumped unceremoniously into a massive pit. Fred knew this would be his fate, but at least now mankind would know the truth. Well, human, 266-8880, perhaps you will give us some valuable info. I am pleased to inform you that while your comrades were plied for tactical intel, you are special. We are going to delve inside your unconscious and see if we can't discover why your wretched little race dies before we can get any useful knowledge out of them. The interrogator gnashes his teeth with glee as Frederick sighs, hoping this will be as quick as the ugly alien bastard makes it sound. The lights dim as the alien uses his psychic ability to forcefully enter Frederick's mind. The strange abstract nature of the human mind was all too familiar to him, but he dives into the blackness and feels himself piercing the unconscious mind of the captain. There was an odd sensation to this region, much more organized, like it was a place, a physical place, not an aspect of consciousness. What is this? What trickery is this? He growls in confusion. Well, hell if I know, I don't even know why I'm here, Fred remarks, somehow in perfect health and function, uninjured, much to the shock of the interrogator. What is this sorcery, human? He growls before shivering at a cold gust of wind. What? Who is that? Have I delved so deep as to find your pantheon? I will be sainted for this. The interrogator laughs as he sees a figure approach, but his gusto is shattered as a middle-aged man appears from the fog, dressed in a black shop shirt, black pants and boots, and a black trucker hat. Who are you? How are you here? What is going on? You are no god. You look no different than so many of the humans I've processed. Frederick chuckles and nods to the figure, addressing it casually. Well, didn't expect you. How's it going? The figure responds in a similar tone, nodding to the captain. Oh, you know, been busy. With the battlefields on 20 systems and the industrial grade shit pit operation they have going on here, I haven't been able to get much of a break in. Ah, that's a bummer. Everyone needs a rest now and then. How's my folks doing? They're doing all right. They're expecting you. Kind of bummed out that you're showing up early, but they missed you a lot and are excited to see you. The man responds with a nod as the interrogator loses his patience. Enough of this. What are you? This psychotic trickery will not spare you. He is promptly cut off by the man, talking now in a much harsher tone. A distinct power exudes from him, and each word is tipped in a poisonous finality. Shut the hell up. You seem to be too damn ignorant to figure it out for yourself, so I will spell it out. I am death. I have taken many forms, but this is my favorite. The interrogator is shocked into silence, and death relaxes as he continues. All species have deities. Humans are no different. The difference comes from what these deities are. Yours gain power through worship in all the standard ways, temples and groveling, and whiny crap like that. I am different. Mankind knew me since it first walked upright. But it never worshipped me. It made its own gods. It had pantheons of comic book-style characters and cheesy stories of holier-than-thou jagoffs blabbering to the moonlight. But through all of the cultures of man, I have existed the singular finality. The now long-dead trio of faiths that based themselves on the teachings of Moses had a name for their God that describes me well. I am. Simple, significant, kind of opaque. It suits me well. But Frederick's people here, in my opinion, they had the most accurate view of me. They called me the final mechanic. His people were born in the fires of a nuclear war that if I had known would happen, I would have scythed the geriatric turds that caused it. I'm getting off topic. They saw me as the man who fixed them up before sending them down the long road. They didn't see me as the harsh and bitter end. They saw me as the end of one road and the guide to another. It's not entirely accurate, but it's close enough for government work. They saw me not as some malevolent being, but as a simple inevitability, one to respect and welcome in time. Their people went to war in those days in retrofitted vehicles, and that led to the descriptor of mechanic. When one of their vehicles was destroyed, it was sent to me. I fixed it up and fixed up its crew and sent it on down the long road home. Never worshipped me, but knew I existed as what I am. These tenacious little bastards, I love them. You never looked at their souls. They're a potent and powerful thing. Hell, Fred, I'm monologuing. I won't hold you up. Death explains his role in mankind's existence as the scenery changes to an American prairie along an old interstate. Frederick looks in shock before running up to an old pickup sitting on the side of the road. But how? It was lost in a fire a year after Dad passed? Frederick asks, almost shaking at seeing the staple of his childhood, which he had lost a long time ago. Well, you know your beliefs. All men and machine that can no longer be saved are sent to my shop to be fixed in time. I found your affection for your machines, as well as your pets, to be endearing. So, each machine that meets its end now winds up in my care. Honestly, I found myself enjoying it. Death chuckles as Frederick shakes his hand before running to the vehicle and driving off into the horizon. Death smiles as he watches him go, but soon begins to scowl as he looks at the interrogator. You, however, I'm not fucking done with you. You stupid bastards. Thinking you're so high and mighty. You empower your piddly war god with sacrifices of blood. But there's one little problem. He is a concept given power by the living. If none lives to worship him, he dies. I am a force of nature given physical form through a concept. Even if all mankind is lost, I still exist. I couldn't stop your kind through the ways I could with humanity. But now this conceptualization of a force of nature is in your head, and you are a psychic people. I am now in your entire species like a fucking plague. Your concept of death held no real significance like me. But now, I have all the power over your race that I would over man, and since your puny little god is such a part of you, I can kill him. I will make your temples rot in seconds. Your priests will age and die in instants. Your faith, your god, you, will all die. And you know what? It's all because you were cocky and wanted to dig too far and just managed to open yourselves up to a power you didn't know existed. That's The interrogator felt his body age, his bones wither, his skin grows dry and leathery as the form of the man changed to a human skeleton, clad in black cloak and holding a vicious scythe in his hand. As the interrogator aged decades in an instant, Death spoke. His voice is venomous and raspy. I am death. I am your end. I am the one thing you can't fight back against. And unlike how I am with humanity, I am not your friend.